Hi everybody, Morgana Galaxia here. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're with me today. I'm getting on because I want to take a look at February. We're about almost halfway through January, but I did a reading a few days ago that said there was going to be a downfall in February. So I want to get in and take a look at February of 2022 for the United States. So, February of 2022. I'd like to know what's going to be happening in the U.S. and with a look at maybe if there's a downfall of any kind, some information about that. All right. So I hope you're all having a good week. No, it just got started. So let's see, first week of February, second week, third week, and fourth week. Okay, so for the first week of February, we're starting off with the Hierophant. And so this is pointing us right towards government or church, but I'm going to go with government here. So with the beginning of February, some sort of government body or government party is going to be in action and drawing our attention. The second page there with the the Page of Pentacles. So this tells me some sort of, this is pointing to that action that the government is going to take. This page is stepping forward with a case, with a subpoena, with an indictment, with a news release, right? So there's something that's going to be released from the government. And because this is a coin, I'm going to say this is something more tangible than intangible, less of a communication than a document, a piece of evidence, a subpoena, something something a little more substantial, okay? And then we have the Page of Wands, and this is the communication. So I think for the first week of February, we can look at the government coming out with something to the people, right? Like an investigation is announced, a charge is now announced, something is announced, and here they are, that the media, it's going to be broadcast far and wide. This communication is going to be put out there across the nation. So it's newsworthy, okay? It's newsworthy. It's important enough where, putting those backwards. It's important enough where there's going to be media attention around what the government is going to bring forth first week of February. Okay, second week of February. We're going to start off with the Five of Wands. So whatever's happening week one is going to lead directly to some partisan fighting on week two. So everyone's up in arms. Everyone's on the attack. Everyone's beating each other up, turning on each other, partisan fighting, in-house fighting, that kind of thing, which is going to lead to Eight of Cups. There's going to be some winners and there's going to be some losers. So there are going to be some people definitely affected and losing out on the situation. And then we're ending week two with the King of Wands. Okay, so someone in authority is stepping forward. Someone in authority is going to step forward with some work to do. This is concrete work, so calling people to do some sort of activities. Week three, we're starting off with that king. Here's the wand, here's the work, here's the demand, the ask. This is what I want you guys to do. Now, look at this king and the work he wants done. There's a lot of red fire energy here. So I am leaning towards GOP, as the red party. That work, this is the beginning of work week three. is followed up by Justice. Okay. And finally, the Emperor. Okay. So whatever shenanigans have been going on, week 2, okay. We're starting off with maybe some Republican action. Now, it doesn't have to be Republican with this Wands. It could just be leadership, you know, could be even Schumer. But this is leadership here. I would say GOP leadership. They're going about some kind of task, some initiative. They want to start something here. But it is, boom, bumps right up against Justice. Justice is right there. So maybe if we're all lucky, they go about the work of justice. Maybe they start purging their ranks, getting rid of some people. Maybe they'll have to, what's the word I'm looking, you know, do ethics investigations on their own. Who knows? They're, you know, hopefully the work is justice. If it's not, if they want to start their normal shenanigans, it's going to bump up against Justice real quick. And the Emperor, okay, that higher authority, the one who will put the kibosh on these people and any shenanigans they want to do. Okay. I know I'm abusing the word shenanigans. I'll bust out my thesaurus and come up with a few other words here. So where I'm going though is that the King of Wands and this initiative, this work that's put forward has to do with justice. Big justice, big capital J justice, and the Emperor. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the AG's office coming on in week 3. Okay. Week 4, we're starting off with a 5 of Pentacles. So losses, being kind of pushed out in the cold, being discharged from your community, maybe losing your employment, right? Losing your pay. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles after that, which is review. You reap what you sow, separate the wheat from the chaff, keep the good, get rid of the bad. And then we're finally ending on a Page of Swords. So this is a legal maneuver of some kind. So what I'm kind of seeing as a story here for February is that we're going to start out with the government stepping forward with some newsworthy action. That action is going to create a lot of infighting, a lot of partisanship, and a lot of bickering that's going to lead to some losses, okay? Some spilled cups, some losses, I'm going to say for the GOP. And week 2 ends with GOP leadership coming up with some sort of plan or idea, something that they want to implement. And then at that point in comes Justice and the Emperor, that higher authority, which in this case is the authority of justice, the Attorney General's office, okay? Following the Attorney General and Justice's appearance on the scene, we have a banishment of some people from their offices, from their jobs, from their communities. Some people are going to be left out in the cold. There's going to be a full review done and some legal action. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for February. Very interesting. Okay. So let me get to some shuffling. Okay, I think what I want to look at next is a versus spread. I want to take a look at Biden versus Manchin. We talk about Manchin a lot. He's in the news a lot because he is really putting his foot in the middle of everything that Biden wants to do. It's really coming to the point where Biden needs to do something about Manchin if he doesn't want to see everything he's trying to do just die out, right? Get destroyed, reduced, eliminated because of Manchin. So Biden versus Manchin. Biden versus Manchin. Let's take a look. All right, so Biden on this side. Okay. Over here, we have Manchin. And then we have a resolution in the middle. So, the first card for each of these men is what's going on in their heads, all right? What's in their brains? With Biden, we have the Page of Wands. So Biden is, he's got a lot of plans that he wants to communicate to the people, okay? He's got a lot of work that he wants to do, a lot of initiatives he wants to start undertaking. He's got work that he wants to do, and he wants to go about doing it. And it involves a lot of communication, letting the American people know what he wants to do, making sure, the Democrats in Congress are on the same page as him, right? Just working it, working the social scene, trying to get the work that he wants done, out there, known, talked about, on the radar. What's in Manchin's head? We have the High Priestess. All right, so this guy's keeping some secrets. He has a hidden agenda. He's weighing very carefully what he wants to say and what he doesn't want to say, what he wants to reveal and what he wants to keep hidden. He's got an agenda he doesn't want other people to know about. He's secretive, and he could be misleading. So the second card for each of these men is, how do they see each other? Okay. With Biden, how he sees Manchin, we have a Page of Pentacles. So in this case, I'm going to say he sees Manchin as someone who's opportunistic, who's in it for the money. In it for the money. How can he get his coin? Where can he throw his votes? Where can he make appearances? Where can he do what he needs to do to collect the money? The way Manchin sees Biden, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I would say that Manchin sees Biden as someone who is just trying to throw his weight around, do too much, too ambitious, wants to spend too much money or change too many laws or change things, cut through, red tape, just kind of move things forward. He might be moving a little too fast for Manchin. His ideas might be too big for Manchin. That sword, which can often be the law, maybe Manchin just doesn't want to budge on some of these laws that would need to be changed for Biden to get things done. He doesn't want to change the filibuster, right? He doesn't want to change the rules in the Senate. He doesn't want to do these things. He sees Biden as an agent of change, a kind of change that he doesn't want. So I think part of what he's thinking he wants to do is cut Biden down to size. He thinks he's too ambitious. Okay. The next card for these men is what do they hold in their hearts? Okay. And very interesting for Biden, it's the King of Swords, which isn't that a nice pair for the Queen of Swords, which is how Manchin sees Biden, right? I think this is telling us that in a way, Manchin is correct. Biden has a lot of big plans. He has a big agenda. He has these huge programs that he wants to put through, right? He's in there to do work, to legislate, to be a leader, to be a president, one that like we haven't had in a really long time, right? I mean, Trump didn't do a damn thing in 4 years in office. I love Obama, but there were certain big things that he couldn't get done. Biden's already told us he kind of wants to be like FDR, right? Who did the New Deal. I mean, he wants to make foundational changes to the country to make it better for regular Americans. So yeah, he's sitting in his throne of power and he wants to use it. He's got plans. He's got a vision. Okay, I guess that's the best way to put it. Biden has a big vision. Manchin certainly recognizes it. What is in Manchin's heart? Oh, does he have a heart? Oh, we have the World card. Okay, so my immediate first off the bat thought is Manchin loves him some fame. Okay, he is enjoying his 15 minutes. This card is an ending, and his exploits. See, his exploits in Congress might be the end of him. This might be a grand ending for him. He might not see that because he's relishing the attention. He's relishing the international fame. Everyone's eyes are on him. What is Manchin going to do next, right? He's loving his little 15 minutes. Obviously, it's a little more than 15 minutes of fame for what he's doing, but you get my drift. He's a fame whore. Okay, so the last card, for the two men, would be action. Okay, what action do they want to take? And I haven't righted my card yet, so here we have the Ace of Swords reversed again. So this is telling me that delayed justice is hampering Biden, okay? In order for him to move, to try and obtain all these grand visions that he has for the United States, he needs to sort of button this Trump thing up, right? So he can kind of move on with this country. The injustice here is really hampering his action. He has to kind of wait for a lot of this Trump stuff to go through. All the MAGA people that are hanging on are still being a pain in the ass. There's going to be delay in courts. And I mean, this whole thing with Manchin, there's just the injustice is delaying his agenda and his vision. So he's being hampered. For Manchin, here we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is telling me that Manchin's activity is continuing to enrich himself, continuing to be concerned with money, continuing to make leadership decisions based on financial ideals and financial agenda. That is all about money and resources for this guy. And his idea, that's his idea of leadership. That's the kind of congressperson he wants to be. That's kind of the sort of person he is, as the Pentacle suit, the Queen, he's representative of that idea of being all about the money. Now, the good part of this card is this Queen then bestows that wealth onto her land and her peoples, right? She makes sure everyone has what they need. She makes sure that there's no poverty. She makes sure that everyone is comfortable. The money flows downhill. That's the best aspect of this card. So, but this is Manchin we're talking about here. So in his case, since we know that that's not the case with him, it's about gathering, obtaining, and building his own personal wealth. And for anybody who might doubt his altruism, check out the reason that he gives for wanting to end the child tax credit, okay? So for the final card, the resolution between the two, or how we can end this, what is between them, we have the Knight of Wands. So what is between these two men is a GOP scorched earth, you guys. So with this red, it's GOP, you got the volcanoes. I mean, scorched earth. You can also say climate. I think climate is one of the big issues that are between these two men. Manchin does not sign into any climate change related laws or any things that Biden wants to do. But in a broader sense, it's the GOP scorched earth. They're take no prisoners, hypocrisy, lie all day, lawlessness, the corruption, the whole degradation of the GOP party. Now, these are 2 Democrats I'm reading here. So this could be a nod to the GOP trying to corrupt Manchin, okay? And that is putting these 2 Democrats at odds, that there's a GOP, you know, foot somewhere in the mix, kind of causing some trouble for sure. This knight in my spread here is looking right at Manchin. This is how they're positioned here. So this knight looking right at Manchin and his desires for cash money. And so I think it's a nod in that direction. I definitely think there's a climate change message in here, that could be a sticking point in some of their negotiations as some of the climate related, I won't say laws, I don't know that they're all laws, but initiatives or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of what I see for these 2 men. Yeah, so I don't know how it's going to resolve itself. I don't see a natural resolution in here outside of maybe getting the GOP away from Manchin, or exposing Manchin's lust for money and that tie that he has with the GOP. You know, they talk about it a little, but I feel like if Biden wants to bring down the hammer on this guy, his ties to the GOP, his financial ties to the GOP and GOP industries, you know, big oil, coal, blah, 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 anti-environmental kind of groups, this kind of thing, that might be a route for him to go. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for these 2 men today. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I thank you again for visiting me on my channel. Make sure and visit me again. If you like my readings, press like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Leave comments. I read all of them, and I comment back to a lot of them. And other than that, have a great couple of days, and I'll see you in a few, all right? Bye, everybody.